Warped Tour is making their highly anticipated comeback, celebrating 30 years next year at 3 big festivals. Kicking things off in Washington, D.C., happening June 14th and 15th at the festival grounds at RFK campus, then heading out to Long Beach, California, July 26th and 27th at the Shoreline Waterfront, and then in November, Orlando, Florida, the 15th and 16th, taking place at Camping World Stadium campus. We first told you on Rock Feed that Warped Tour was making a comeback, and it was clear that the fans could not be more excited about the legendary festival's return. Now, first off, there's been a lot of conversation. There are only 3 festivals taking place, but these are 3 shows that are much larger than Warped Tour would have normally been, and so they're going to be much larger crowds, so people are going to be driving at a distance. But Kevin Lyman has said, the festival founder, that if next year goes well, and I think a lot of people are pretty confident that it will, that they're looking to expand into more areas. So it'll be really interesting to see. Now, the number one question that everybody has is, who is on the lineup? Currently, the pre-sale is underway, but they have yet to announce that lineup officially. But there are a couple of rumors that are taking place on the internet. So the first band that I think is playing in their announcement video, they were playing A Day to Remember. So just speculating, I would imagine that A Day to Remember would be there as well. But also on social media, there is an interaction that took place that has a lot of people talking. There's some controversy there as well that we're going to look at, but it involves Falling in Reverse and the official Warped Tour account on X, their reply. And so we're going to look at that too. But the other number one question that everybody's asking right now is, how much is it going to cost? And there were a lot of people speculating, oh, it better be $40. But the reality is, guys, that's not very realistic. Costs all the way across the board have skyrocketed since Warped Tour was last happening. So to keep it at $40, I would imagine they would probably be operating at a loss. But you don't hear a lot of people complaining about what the cost is because it's pretty affordable compared to a lot of different festivals. So how much does it cost? And there you have it. 2-day passes start at $149.98, and that is including fees, total price of $149.98. And the tickets are on sale now, but there are still questions about who's going to be on the lineup. So with Warped Tour coming back and there not being the lineup announcement yet, of course, there's rampant speculation about who could be playing this legendary festival. So this has to do with an interaction on X between Ronnie Radke and the official Vans Warped Tour account, which has a lot of people thinking, hey, it looks like Falling in Reverse could be performing. But Ronnie has had a lot going on, including recently posting his bank account balance on social media when somebody said they had heard he was going bankrupt. Obviously, there's lots of people talking trash about Ronnie. On social media, he's very polarizing to people, and he's built this massive fan base of supporters around him as well. So this is this very hilarious moment when Ronnie is posting his account balance for just one of his accounts he confirmed on social media in response to people saying he's going bankrupt. So there it is, $10,497,943. And that is just one account from what he said. And people were really impressed by that. So of course, naturally, he's going to be getting asked for money. This guy said, "Can I have $1?" He said no. And that is a giant stack of cash in his lap. So obviously the summer tour went very well. Now, as usual, he was dealing with a lot of hate on social media. And I think people are like, how do you deal with that? What happens? And so he actually asked people to please stop bullying him on social media. And this was his response. With an absolute mountain of cash in his lap, he wrote, "Please stop bullying me. There's only so much I can take. This is the hardest moments of my life, knowing y'all hate me." And if that's not enough, he apparently was at a casino recently hanging out with UFC president Dana White. He shared on social media, "Dana White being my hype man wasn't on my 2024 bingo card." And with Falling in Reverse's new album, Popular Monster, being the top-selling rock record of the year, you'd have to imagine that a lot of UFC fighters and maybe even Dana White have been listening to the band. So this is the part where Warped Tour comes into play. I can't see what was said because the tweet was removed, but Ronnie is responding to the speculation and those who are complaining, saying that if Falling in Reverse is on the lineup, they wouldn't want to go. But Ronnie is responding saying, look, at the size my band is now, I would be headlining this if I were playing. He wrote, "We would close the stage at Warped Tour, so you could leave before that since I play the same venues and sell them out on my own as Warped Tour does, hun. Relax." He followed it up saying, Find it so funny that these people complain if I'm going to play Warped Tour when I'm a staple of it. On top of Mayhem Festival having 23 bands and can't even sell 40% of the venue capacity, and I go do a makeup show and do double the amount of tickets on my own. Get ready to be upset, losers. Get ready to be upset. So that's some strong teasing that Falling in Reverse could be on Warped Tour. And of course, that band brings in a lot of fans for Warped Tour. And of course, they're at the size now where they absolutely, if they were playing, would be headlining. So that will be really wild to see at these massive festivals where Warped Tour is coming back. But this is where things go to the next level. Warped Tour responds. So this is like, these are big rumors. Warped Tour directly responded from the official account, writing, Ronald Radke, our king, you dropped this. So in the midst of all of this massive excitement surrounding Warped Tour, this brought in some people who hate Ronnie Radke and were complaining in the comments. This user wrote, way to ruin it before it even started, LMAO. This user wrote, hire a PR guy immediately because what the f. So I don't know about why they need to hire a PR guy. It seems like their PR people are doing a great job. If you saw Las Vegas this past weekend, all of Las Vegas at When We Were Young Festival was seemingly covered in Vans Warped Tour on massive buildings. Here up on your screen, they had an entire building covered with Warped Tour for everybody who was in town. So they're going all out for this return, and you can really tell just how loud they intend to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Warped Tour. And if you look back at this history of this festival, the amount of artists that have come from Warped Tour, not just in rock, but in every other genre as well, it's really crazy, including some very big pop stars. Katy Perry was on Warped Tour. That's where she started her career, and from there went on to do amazing things as well, and so many legendary rock bands. And that's what you'll see happen again when Warped Tour returns. There's going to be upcoming bands that get the opportunity to play in front of this very big stage. And at that price point of $150, I think that's honestly, you're not hearing a lot of people complaining about it because that's a pretty good price for what festivals are going for these days, 2 full days of music. But here's what I want to know. Who do you think is going to be playing at Warped Tour? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to Rock Feed for the latest news and updates.